As Fox reports tonight, Israeli aircraft have entered Syria and have apparently dropped bombs. This is just happening, and Jennifer Griffin with the late details from the Pentagon. Jennifer?
Shepard, I've just confirmed with a U.S. official that the Pentagon does believe that Israeli warplanes did cross into Syrian airspace overnight and dropped several munitions, bombs, if you will, on a warehouse that was believed to be containing conventional weapons. It was not a chemical weapons facility, I'm told. We know that at least 2 warplanes crossed into Syrian airspace. It's not clear what kind of warplanes, but they were Israeli. They could have been F-16s. They could have been F-15s. We're not sure at this moment, but we do know that the IDF, the Israeli Air Force, did in fact cross into Syria. The last time that we had reports that the Israelis had struck inside of Syria was back in January. Remember, they struck a weapons convoy that was moving near the Lebanese border, but they did not cross into Syria at that moment to strike that convoy. That convoy, we're told, was containing SA-17 missiles. Those are anti-aircraft missiles that the Russians were providing, either Hezbollah or the Syrian regime. So, but this is new. Tonight we are confirming that a U.S. official says that Israeli warplanes did fire on Syria overnight. And
the Israelis are saying, and Israeli media are indicating, that these planes flew for hours near the capital.
Well, it's interesting. This may be a separate incident, but you're correct. Tonight, out of Israel, just 11 hours ago, there were reports in the Israeli press that there were several Israeli warplanes that hovered over the capital, Beirut, and other cities carrying out simulated attacks. That's separate from what I'm reporting on tonight. I've confirmed from U.S. officials that, in fact, bombs were dropped by those warplanes. Missiles were fired at this weapons facility inside Syria. Shepard.
Anything from the Bashar al-Assad regime?
We've not heard any reaction of it as of yet. We know that the regime has been in a great push to push the rebels out of a stronghold in the 3rd largest city, Homs. We don't believe that the Syrian regime has been very effective in recent days, but there's been a big push to try and get the rebels out of Homs, the 3rd largest city there. So there's been a lot of activity. And of course, this week, the very unusual, rare public appearance by Bashar Assad in the capital, Damascus. He went to an electricity plant, and then he issued a statement to his nation. So that was unusual activity and somewhat brazen activity in the wake of the president and the Secretary of Defense here at the Pentagon saying that the use of chemical weapons inside Syria was a game changer, Shep.
You wonder if the Israelis would do anything like this without first consulting with their friends, the Americans.
Well, I've spoken to many people in the last 24 hours who are very aware of the intelligence sharing and the relationship between the Israeli defense forces, the Israeli leadership, and Washington right now. And they say that they are consulting on almost every piece of intelligence, as well as any moves within the region with regards to Iran, as well as Syria. Remember, Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel was in Israel just 2 weeks ago, and there is very close coordination with regards to both Syria, its chemical weapons, as well as concerns about Iran right now.
And there have been concerns for a very long time, Jennifer, that this conflict inside Syria might spread beyond its borders.
Well, that's the real concern, and that's why you've seen such strong lobbying. We learned that last Friday, King Abdullah of Jordan was down in Tampa, Florida, on a very unusual visit to CENTCOM, Central Command. He had dinner there with General Lloyd Austin, as well as a Special Operations Commander. Those are the people, since his country neighbors Syria and is also neighboring Israel. King Abdullah of Jordan is very concerned, as you know, about this conflict spilling over into his kingdom. He's also allowed the U.S. to base 200 U.S. military personnel in his country, which is an unusual public announcement by the Pentagon that they were sending 200 U.S. forces there.
Less unusual that they would do it, more unusual that they would talk about it. Jennifer,
exactly.
Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon with the new information that the Israelis have struck inside Syria. Updates as they come in throughout the night on Fox News Channel.